Thank you very, very much. My dear friends, first of all, I'm very, very sorry for being late. And I'm pretty much late. And as far as we'll be talking today with you about the fundamentals of cross-cultural management and the role of cross-cultural communication in conflict resolution and conflict preventing. Your topic here is about conflicts. My first question is, would be, are here the people from Europe? Please raise your hands. Great. Are here the people from Asia? Yeah. Great. Are here some people from Africa? Great. Are here some people from Latin America? Perfect. So the question, if I have a business meeting in Germany, and we agreed that my business meeting is at 3 o'clock sharp, at what time I have to come to the office of my partner? 2:40. 3 o'clock. I have a small suggestion. Well, if all of us will be talking, you won't be able to listen to each other. And the best thing, from my point of view, is when you can follow each other, when you can listen and hear the sense. So please just raise your hands. I will be giving floor so that you could feel. My next question, with Germany, it's more or less clear. When I coming to meet my partner here at Switzerland, not that far from Germany, at 3 o'clock the meeting is. At what time I should arrive to the office? On time, exactly. Switch, chronometer, watch, everything is. Do you agree? In Switzerland, on time. In Germany, some people consider before the time, some people say in time. And when I have a meeting, are there some people from India? Yes. My question, and if I have a meeting with some traditional, not westernized, very traditional Indian businessman, at what time should I arrive? So a little bit. Are there some people from Latin America? Is it possible to be, where? Is it possible to be a little bit late at Latin America? Not more than 5 minutes. And now, are there some people from Russia? I shall ask the question a little bit different way. I'm coming to some business meeting, I shall say, not with the president of the country, normal business meeting. How do you think, how much I can be late? 5 minutes only. Why 5 minutes? Yeah. 15 minutes. Why do you think 15? And should I make some apologies? Huh? What do you think? Yes. What do you think? I see. That is very good of you, but things happen, as my friend Tim Meskin says. He would be lecturing to you next. He's a former American dean and first vice president of the biggest business school associations of the world. He's a great man. Things happen. I knew that in Russia, if I'm late for sort of 10 minutes, I'd rather start with the apologies immediately when I stepped in. And And it should be some emotional apology. It's like, you see, I'm so sorry, but I was stuck in the elevator. Or, you know, I was coming here, but my grandma all of a sudden came to the railway station. She telephoned to me, and I had, it was such a traffic jam at the heart of Moscow, as if I was born yesterday and couldn't expect a traffic jam in the middle of the big city. It should be an excuse in Russia. In fact, the people are not expected to believe what I say. But I have to make certain apologies. If this is above 10 minutes or 15, it's better to telephone. But still, from my experience, I know that when you're a little bit late, within half an hour in India, same in Russia, within half an hour, if you make apologies over the telephone, etc., and if you sound sincere, you won't spoil relations, at least not radically. They would continue. Simultaneously, I know that at Switzerland, you'd rather come before the time, not on time, before the time. Because if you run to the office of your partner, from what country are you? Nigeria. So together with you, we're coming to this Swiss gentleman. We're a little bit out of time. We're running. And he steps off his office, and we're still. He expects us to come 15 minutes beforehand, to relax, to be concentrated, and immediately to start talking business. Because in so-called German group of countries, first of all, Switzerland, Germany, Austria, to a certain extent, Hungary. Are there some people from Hungary? Nope. From Germany? Nope. From Switzerland? Then please believe me. I was looking for the experts. In so-called German group of countries, you are either coming a little bit before the time or just in time. When you are coming to the countries whose culture I love, it's a relaxed culture. They're fantastic people. I mean, Roman countries like France, Italy, Spain, to a certain extent, Portugal, as well as Mediterranean countries. From both sides of Mediterranean, I love those people. Once again, they're relaxed. There, if you're a little bit out of time, it is reasonable, because time perception differs. By the way, what I'm doing now is introduction to our talk. Then I shall follow the slides. And within our time organization, I'm planning to talk altogether 30-40 minutes. Then I'm planning to discuss with you one case study. And then I'm planning to answer your questions, because like all the professors, I can talk from morning till night, and I have to be just halted. I'd rather answer your questions. There are different time perceptions. At the top, German group of country, and at the top of the top, Switzerland. This is why Swiss watch is so expensive. Everything is in time. Then Roman countries. Are there some people from France, Italy, Spain? Nope. What country? Spain. What part of Spain? Woof! It's a great place, isn't it? I like Spain. The people are more relaxed. To be a little bit out of time, it's quite possible. If you ever had a chance to come to the Alp mountain skiing resorts in the middle of Europe, and when you are coming by plane to Geneva, you have two exits. One to the territory of France, one to the territory of Switzerland. If you come to the territory of Switzerland and take a train, the train is in time sharp. You can fix the train by your watch, and you can fix your watch by the train. When you step to the side of France, you see, from my experience, maybe I'm wrong, France has a permanent strike of the people who are working at railway stations. So the trains are a little bit, half an hour, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 1 hour out of time. So you step there, and immediately time perception is becoming loose. When you're moving further to the Mediterranean countries and to the Arabic world, it's not good or bad. It's just different. The time perception is changed again. At the United States of America, at Anglo-Saxon world, at the German world, time is money. Time is a very rare factor. You have to calculate the time. When you are coming to the Arabic world, the people are much more philosophical. They say, when the God created the time, he created enough of it. Thank you. So a little bit more, a little bit less. The most important thing is human communication. Again, it's not good or bad. It's different. It is very different, and those numerous differences of time perception, the people have to feel if they are dealing in international relations, to stop any sort of misunderstanding and cross-cultural conflicts. One more small explanation about the time. Anglo-Saxon countries, this is north of Europe, Scandinavia, Great Britain, Ireland, Netherlands, Denmark, etc. This is United States of America, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. This is Anglo-Saxon world. And German countries subconsciously feel the time as a line vector that is coming from us to the future. If subconsciously we feel the time as a vector that is looking upward, we can plan our future. And the whole strategic management is about this planning. We create mission, vision. We look at all that from helicopter view. We make milestones. We benchmark our positioning with the competitors, and then we run upward. And that's the strategy. When you're moving from the north of Europe to the south of Europe, then to Asia, partially to Latin America too, though it's more complicated, the time, subconscious time perception is becoming different. By the way, this difference, Russia is European and Asian country simultaneously. We have 3 Eurasian countries of the world. This is Russia and 2 more. Please advise me. Turkey and Turkey, Russia, and Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan. Are there some people from Kazakhstan? No Kazakhstan people. Okay. So we have a mixed time perception. When you're coming to the south, the time perception, line time perception, is changes for sort of a spiral. We imagine the time subconsciously as a big spiral that is moving around us. What does it mean? That means that 3/4 of the time movement we cannot fully see and understand. It's a line. That's my strategy. That's my vision. That's my goal. And here, when the time is there, I cannot control it. From this point of view, long-term strategy, it is something a little bit artificial. Second thing, when the time is imagined as a spiral, you understand that even if you miss your chance now, you should run. There, you have to run. If you remember Alice at Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, you want to stand still, you have to move quickly because, well, everything is relative. The life is passing by. And so when the time is vector, you have to run to catch up with your perspectives. Here, if you missed your chance, after a certain period of time, the spiral would return to you this chance again at a new level. So what you have to do, you shouldn't run. You should concentrate yourself, revise your mistakes, to make preparation, to wait for the new chance and grab it. By the way, those who doubt that it is so, at least those from Russian-speaking part of the world, I advise you very much to read once again Leo Tolstoy, War and Peace, and in particular, to reread those pages which are dedicated to behavior of Marshal Kutuzov, when after this clash with Napoleon troops of Borodino next to Moscow, when Moscow was finally captured by the French troops in 1812. At the headquarters, there was a discussion, and the representatives of Austrian generals, this is German culture, of British advisors, Anglo-Saxon cultures, they were saying, look, Borodino battle, it was practically our victory, so we should continue, we should make a new strike, we shouldn't lose the time. And what did Kutuzov make? He withdrew his troops, and he told the other generals, if we shall lose Moscow, we won't lose the whole Russia. We have to concentrate. We should wait while the Napoleon troops coming to Moscow, to Kremlin, surrounded by the Russian frost, by the partisans, by the fire of Kremlin, by the long communications, would be weakened. And when they would become weak and move back to France, that's a spiral, then we shall start a new fight. It's a typical spiral type of thinking. And now, if you please, and do we have this device for slide movement, if you please? Thank you very, very much. And now let us move forward. So I've already made some sort of introduction, so I shall overjump this slide and come to the next one. What is cross-cultural management about? Very quickly. How the people from one cultural background meet, interact with, understand, and deal with people from other cultural background. All the people are alike. Still, we behave differently. And this is connected with so-called values. It's a very, very brief theoretical introduction. It would take about 5 minutes maximum. It is connected with values. I won't be giving long definition of values. I shall just say values is what we subconsciously consider as good or bad. Friendship, good. Betrayal, bad. To respect senior or old people, good. To deal bad with the old people is bad. That's about values. Values normally exist by peers. One side, another side. Sometimes it's good or bad. Sometimes it's high and low. Sometimes it's right and left. But still, the value differs. When you are born, and when I am born, when I was born, we were not born with the values. With certain simplification, our brain is like a computer system. It's like Microsoft or Apple system, OIS, it seems to me, or something like that.
iOS.
iOS, thank you very much. Now I know how to pronounce that. iOS. However, the frame doesn't permit you to work with the computer. At Microsoft, I know Microsoft a little bit better. I have to place Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access, something else there. Then you start working. Same is our brain when we're born. The frame, the system, iOS, and Microsoft. This is what we're born with. But no Word, no Excel, no nothing is there. And then the society starts programming us for values, for what is good or what is bad. It is made at 3 steps of our social development. At the level of the family, at the level of education, and at the level of our work. Society tells us, this is how you should behave, this is how you should not behave. For example, there is a pair of values. They're not good or bad, they're different. Individualism and collectivism. By the research, Anglo-Saxon group of countries consists predominantly of individualistic-oriented people. Eastern societies consist predominantly of collectivistic people. Not good, not bad. Different type of behavior. Sometimes you can see that even in ABC, because if you pay attention to the ABC in English, I letter is always a big letter, because I'm the center of gravity. Russia is predominantly collectivistic society. And what recently happened a week or so in my family, I have a son who's 24. He graduated from IBDA or IBS Moscow of our academy, and now he's a PhD student. And have a younger daughter who's a little bit above 10, and she's still playing with some toys. Not very much, but still, she's carrying 2 tigers from Disney cartoon of Winnie the Pooh. And my son tells her, why did you take the second tiger? That belongs to me. The answer, your tiger is bigger, that's father tiger. My tiger is smaller, this is mother tiger. The answer of the son. You would spoil something. You do not know how to deal with the good toys. Please put it aside. I interfere and shout to the second floor of the small country house, hey, son, what are you doing? That's your sister. You'll be walking along the life together. Your family, this is your fortress. Your friends, this is the people who support you. You have to establish good relations with family and friends. Leave this toy for your younger sister. At your 24 years, you have to play with other toys, which are called girlfriends. What value I'm programming my son for? This is collectivistic value. Let us be a community. Again, without good or bad. I did that subconsciously. This is how it happens with all of you. And so we are programmed for the values by the society. And if we can feel the values of other people, if we can understand what they really mean, normally we can bypass conflicts. I especially place this very well or very famous psychological picture. If you look at it carefully, you can sort of turn this window. For some of you, it is looking to the left. For some of you, it is looking to the right. If you concentrate, in the majority of cases, you can turn it to the opposite side. For those of you whose window is looking to the left, emotions dominate in the brain. They are sort of artists. For those for whom initially it looked to the right, it was logics, and that was about mathematics, Now my question is, for whom of you initially it looked to the left? And then you're in between. Then you, thank you very much. And for whom of you initially it looked to the right? Oof, look, we're a very systematical society. Yeah? You are looking like that right there. Yes, left it here. And, but when you concentrate, in the majority of cases, you can sort of change it. That's the perception. That's the perception of cross-culture. I especially placed it here because very often, while communicating with the people of other cultures, we can see only one side window. But we have always to remember that some people can think the things different. I shall over-jump through a bunch of slides because I want to play a small toy with you. Then I shall return back. Aha. What's it? It doesn't want... А как я его могу вернуть назад? Я его что, выключил? Я начал листать под концовку, и меня, да. Ага, вот она. I'm sorry, I'm not very good about pieces of machinery. Aha, that's one more picture. Please pay attention. For those people, the top is there. For these people, the top is here. Depending on how you look at this or that event, at this or that conflict, your perception of what is happening can differ very much. And my major message before we shall discuss a little bit of small stories and before I shall answer the questions, my major message is that if we are dealing in the field of international relations, we have to respect all the cultures and we have to learn how to see the world not only by our eyes, but by the eyes of our partners. However, all of us, from what country are you? Nigeria, right. And you? Nigeria. And you? Russia. Are you from Russia? Sure. And you are from Nigeria. And you are from India. And what part of India? South of India. That is great, fantastic. Pakistan. Very good. And you? Israel. That is very good. And you're Israel too. Fantastic. Gentlemen. And you? Nigeria. And you're from Nigeria too. Nigeria is represented here very well. It's nice. So, now I want to play one small cross-cultural psychological game with you. Please follow the rules. I shall switch the slide. And on the next slide, there would be a sentence that would consist of 2.5 lines only. 2.5 lines. Very simple sentence. And I shall give you 20 seconds. 20 seconds to read this sentence and to calculate within this sentence the quantity of F letters. F, facts. Fun. The first letter, the quantity of F letters. Please don't shout me how many letters are there. Please calculate in silence. I shall repeat once again. I want your concentration of attention. So, I shall switch on the next slide. There would be there a sentence. You have 20 seconds to read this sentence up and back and to calculate the quantity of F letters. Then I return the slide back and I'll be asking questions and you'll be answering. But before I ask question, please keep silence. I want each of you to calculate the quantity of letters very carefully, but yourself. Are you ready? Yes. Are you concentrated? Okay, so I'm trying to fix the time. That's it. So here is the sentence. Please concentrate on it. And if I say, look at the window, still try to, 10 seconds have already passed. Here, fathers help in the fulfillment of emotions of the child in the first year of life. Pretty stupid sentence, and still it functions. 20 seconds are over. Now the question is, who out of you consider that the quantity of F letters is equal to 6? Not a signal. 7. 1, 2, 3. 4. 8. 8. 9. Great. 10. 11. 12. Thank you. So we have some people who saw 6 letters, some people who saw 7 letters, some people who saw 8 letters, some people who saw 9 letters, some people who saw 10 letters, 11, and one person even 12. No, it is normal. Now I shall tell seriously what we did. Psychologically, the people know that the majority of us know how to look, but we look and not see. Or at least we look, but we do not see properly. That's the problem of concentration. If you shall start studying the theory of communication, you will hear about so-called informational noise. I switch it on, but all of a sudden you recollected something connected with your home, with your job, or so your attention jumped a little bit aside and you missed some of the letters. Plus to these informational noises, they're around us. And I was trying also to create some noise. While I was jumping here in front of you, I was protecting you this screen. I was saying about the window. I don't know why I started reading this sentence, and then I was starting saying that this stupid sentence. I was trying to attract your attention from reading, and we got the result, which all the people at all the audiences get. I shall show now the quantity of F letters. Just a second. Here they are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I understand how the people could see 7. I cannot understand how the people could see 12. However, at all the audiences, young and senior, where I worked, the result is the same, because we are the human beings. All of us were trying to concentrate attention, and very often we miss that. We look, but we do not see. We listen, but we do not hear. And if we shall try with the same audience another exercise of this type, it would be the same picture, only those people who are right now, they would be wrong next time and vice versa. All of us were making those mistakes. How do people avoid those mistakes? Because this misunderstanding, miscommunication creates conflicts. The people normally discuss serious problems by the groups. Because in the group, some of the people saw properly, some of the people made a mistake, but in a discussion, you come to some average meaning that either right or at least very close to the proper result. That is, by the way, for those who are making photo pictures, every year I'm changing a couple of words and I'm changing the letters, because in other case, I had a phenomenon when I came teaching from one group to another with the difference of 2 days. And the whole group told me, 10. So we have to learn with you how to see properly and how to see by our eyes and by the eyes of our partners. And now I wanted to tell you one story and to discuss with you one small case study, and after that to answer your questions. Now the case story about cross-cultural management, communication, and conflict resolution, legal obedience, and violation of rules. Many years ago, at the beginning of 90s of the last century, when I was a little bit older than you are now, as a young Russian professor, I came to teach at the United States University in Northern Carolina. It was in 1990. It was still perestroika. There was a huge interest to Russia. And so the people from other universities were asking me to come there and to deliver lectures. And I was trying to earn money. I was young, I had a family. I was looking for the opportunity for moonlighting. And so I was looking for the opportunity to go and lecture. And once, when they invited me from North Carolina, and North Carolina, this is eastern coast of the United States on the south. It's a tricky term, North Carolina. It's southern part of the United States. They invited me across the Virginia mountains to the state of Ohio, to Xavier University, or Xavier University. My friend from Wake Forest University, American Sovietologist, Professor Terry Patterson, told me, Sergei, do you want to earn extra $300? I expect you're ready to say no. I answered, yes, of course. So Professor Patterson told me, why you're planning to fly there? Take a university car. It was complimentary for free. Take a university car and just drive there. It would take you a day. But what about that? And ask them to reimburse your air tickets. And you'll spend some money for the gasoline, but still you'll get extra $300. I say, oh, I like this idea, and I shall show a little bit of the country. Then Professor Patterson also told me, Sergei, but please mind that the United States of America is a very legally obedient country. And Russia is so-called particular truth country. All the countries of the world are subdivided into two groups. The countries where the law, of course, there are exceptions everywhere, but still predominantly the law is the law, and the countries where under these certain circumstances the law can be violated if it is not connected or if it is not backed by the major values. Russia, as a 3/4 of the whole world, belongs to the particular truth countries, meaning that the law and the truth by our subconsciousness can be on the different poles. And our people always say, I prefer to live by the truth and not by the law. Once again, I won't tell you it's good. I won't tell it's bad. I say how it is. Terry Patterson told Sergei, only please do not violate the traffic legislation. In other case, the penalty would be above the money you expect to get as a reimbursement of the ticket. And I decided to drive the car by the law. I came to the interstate highway, and there was a sign, 55 miles. 1 mile is 1.6 kilometers. 55 miles. I fixed it on the cruise control of the car, and I followed the direction. I had to cover about 1,000 kilometers altogether through the day. So the speed was meaningful. After about 1 hour driving, I found out that I am the slowest driver on the highway. The other cars, they were reaching me, slowly bypassing me, and in half an hour disappear at the horizon. Still, I decided not to violate. And I finished a higher at the speed of 55 miles. But my first question, I asked my American counterpart, was why the other cars were driving faster. The American professor, Bill Snavely, sort of rubbed his head and told me, Sergei, I never thought about that. But normally we violate the speed for about 7, 8, sometimes 9 miles, not more than 10, because if you violate for more than 10, speed gun can fix to high speed and you'll be punished. But below that, the police doesn't care, so all of us were driving faster. And when I was moving back, I was driving 55 plus 8. And I saved more than 1 hour of drive. That's about the cross-culture. When you are coming to different culture, where I started, we are looking and we have to learn to see. We have to follow the rules and regulations. We shouldn't violate the law, but if we'd like to move fast, we have to learn to what extent you be next to violation, but without any threat of punishment. We have to learn other cultures. When you are coming to the feeling of other cultures, then lots of conflicts disappear. One more, next story. Also very, very brief. Many years ago, I worked as an interpreter with a group of Somalia at a camp like that when I was a student. During that time, Somalia didn't have any civil war. It was a very stable country. However, Somalia, if you know, it's a Muslim country. Cross-cultural management never discussed the problems of religion because religion is a great respect. It's not discussable. The people just believe. But cross-culture and conflictology always examine the traditions which follow all the biggest world confessions and religions. So Somalia was Muslim country. And within our big camp that consisted of smaller camps on a big territory of the Black Sea, there was an Indian delegation, not from the Western Bengal, but from the central India, that was Hinduist part of India, and Indian friends came to Somalia friends, and two fantastic, beautiful girls with velvet eyes started talking in between them, and then at the end, telling about the life of the children, etc. It was, they came for children, and they were the leaders. They were about 20 both. And then they started presenting friends to each other. And all of a sudden, my Somalian leader, with whom I was working, without discussing that with me, took out of her sack a small tin of blue color, placed it like that towards our Indian friends, and told them, we like this Black Sea camp very much, but we do not like food here. We do not know what is intermixed in all those cutlets, and we want to present you with a real product of Somalian food industry. This is Somalian stewed beef. And then I looked at the front picture. and there was a beautiful cow looking to you from that. How do you think, what was the reaction of this great Indian girl? It's a right? It's a sacred animal. So she thought with big eyes, but we do not eat beef. The Somalian girl looked at the Indian girl with big eyes and asked her a question. And if you do not eat beef, what do you eat? And then I could see the phenomena that is called cross-cultural shock. Then when the value and traditions collide, when the people from one side see the picture by one eyes and the people from other side by another eyes. And all of our conflicts are connected to this or that extent with this. I'm talking for too long time, so I want to show you and to try to analyze with you one problem, especially taking into consideration that we, here it is, that we discussed the time perception as one of the reasons of many conflicts. Here is a small mini case. Please read it. Then I shall ask who of you, if it happened with you, would follow A answer, B answer, or C answer, and why? You have perception. That is very good. Good. Have you finished, or shall I give you extra 30 seconds? Everything is perfect. So we have here a situation. My first question for you. Where, at what part of the world all that happens? Mediterranean, right? Mediterranean, right. How do you think? Are those guests important for you? Yeah? Who told yeah? Initially you, yeah. Why? Absolutely. Absolutely. And why do you think that they're important? Yes, they are my colleagues for sure. I want to establish relations. I invited them and absolutely. Thank you very much. Yep.
And also you invited the family, so you show that you want to establish good relationships for the long term because you want to know the family, his wife, for example, and to meet your wife with his wife, so to show the respect.
Next question. How do you think, if you invite the people to the restaurant or to your private place, to your home, does it make any difference?
Thank you very much. To me, it makes a lot of difference, like the difference between eating with your colleagues in the restaurant. It means like it does just a normal atmosphere like everybody does. But to the extent of taking them to your closer area, like to take them closer to you, to your family, to your house itself, it's something that is showing that you like trust them or you really want to work with them.
Thank you very much. And to what extent those people were late? From what country are you? China. That is very good. Were those people late?
I'm sorry. I don't consider it is a good excuse for being late for 2 hours.
if it is cultural differences, maybe 5 minutes or even 1 hour I can accept, but 2 hours is too late. So I may explain to my guests about why the meal is burnt.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You want to say something? Yeah. As a comment.
Basically, we've had a lot of examples of from this kind of scenarios, but sometimes the people you try to get in contact with, maybe especially the fact that they invited you to, you were invited to their house, and then some people actually are paranoid and they want to they want to see your patience. There's some people try to test your patience, so they do some things to see your reaction to it, to see the kind of human beings you are, to relate better with you.
Thank you very much. Before I shall give the next microphone, I'm sorry. Returning to this case, the writers of this mini case suggest us 3 possible ways of behavior. First wave of behavior, you don't say anything, but you serve your guests with the same food after you have removed the burnt crust and applied camouflaging. The second thing, you invite them, explain that you've burnt part of the food, the meat. Then you take some refreshments, some starters, and then you invite them to the restaurant. And the third thing, option, you offer refreshments, suggesting that you go to the second thing, and you explain that the meat was burnt because they're late. And the third one, you offer refreshment, and after refreshment, suggest them to go to the restaurant. Who of you consider that A version is preferable? I'm looking for some new person. I found a new person who is ready to say something. Yes?
I'm going to go for A. No, naturally, if it's their time, then I'll have mercy on them and go for C. But since I've spent money, time, and energy cooking, and I don't want the food to waste, I think I'll just go for A. Just make it look as beautiful as it can. Don't say anything, and serve them.
Okay, thank you very much. Who else want to support A?
I just want to return to the question about why the guests were late, because we could see that the situation happens in the Mediterranean country, where the time has, as you said in the beginning of our lecture, the time is enough. And maybe this just the mentality of these local people, and they decided that it's not such a big problem if they come 2 hours late. And when it comes to the choice, I will choose C. Because it's, from my point of view, it's the best variant. Or I will change something in the C variant. I'll just explain that food was burnt and I prepare new food, and just offer them to stay at home and to be in a home atmosphere and not to go to the restaurant. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there some other people who are ready to support A? What will you add? Okay.
I think it is kind of respect to serve my guests. So, yes, that's it. Yeah.
Actually, yes. Actually, in our country, you invite them at 7. You expect them to be there at 9. You prepare the food at 10, and they get there at 11. So, yeah.
Yeah, real. It would be interesting. I'm sorry, the Russian part of this group. If you are my friends, and I invite you to my country home for shish kebabs, for some grill, and if I tell you, please come around 5, for what time did I invite you? 4, 6, 5:30, 5:10, 4 to 6. Next question to the Russian-speaking group, because that's our reality. If I say around 5, and if you come to 5, you're my friends, I'm glad to see you. How do you think? Is the food ready? No. That means that you are coming to help me to fix the table, to cut the meat, to make the fire. If you want to come just for the grill, at what time you have to come? I consider about 7. So it is very, very close. It is very, very close. Still, there is the second way of behavior. We are irritated, and we consider that even at the Mediterranean, to be late for 2 hours, no, it's a position. You see, there are all 3 positions are right in their way. Here we do not have right and wrong answers. We have some a little bit more preferable answers from the point of view of conflicts and cross-cultural relations. You consider that it's better to say people in a polite way that it's better not to be late for 2 hours? Be brave.
I consider it is not polite to be late for so long, and maybe I can accept half an hour late for cultural differences, but 2 hours is too long. Maybe I won't get irritated, but I will tell him I don't like his being late for so long, and I will have a dinner with him again, but in what way it is undependent.
Thank you very much. Are there some people with plus minus the same position? Here, in fact, you raised a very important question. Look, and if those who invited, not those who were invited, who were late, but those who invited normally behave in a different way. If their time perception is different, when 2 cultures meet each other and move towards each other, which side should move faster, or they should move equally to each other? Huh? Oh, once again, here, let us assume that I am from Switzerland, and I expected those people to be sharp, and they were 2 hours late. That's collision of values, collision of expectations. This is miscommunication, and that's the basis of conflict. Which culture should accept the behavior of other culture?
I think maybe the inviter and also the people be invited, they should do something like a double check. Like before they set up the time, they said by the dignity and the courtesy, they asked what time they're supposed to be here, or give a reminder that please, I will finish my work in 30 minutes. So you guys are coming or not? Something like that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
As I understand, so this inviter and the persons who were invited are from different cultures. And from my point of view, the inviter should just adapt to the situation, because he or she invites these persons, these guests, and it means that that he or she is responsible for serving them meal, yes, and therefore he should understand their position, and it's it said that when you are in Rome, do as Romans do, yeah, and it means that we should accept their positions. So inviters should go forward.
Okay, thank you very, very much. And finally, who consider that C is preferable? Great. Your hand was the first. Then you.
Okay, I actually think that C is preferable because considering the fact that it was, I'm not sure what was stated, if it was supposed to be by 7, everybody was there because they told us the food was prepared by 7. It could have been agreed that come 7:30, and they arrived at 9. We don't know what was the reason behind the lateness or the late arrival, and considering that it's a guest you're bringing into your home, I'm very sure there are reasons. We don't just invite anybody around to come visit our home and cook and prepare for them. Maybe there's something you're trying to get. So I think it's up to us individually to offer a hand of friendship and understanding, and I think I'll take them out and explain to them that the food got burned. I'm sorry I can't offer you such a meal, and hopefully rearrange another meeting and make sure they understand that, please. I would prefer if you're on time next time. That's just what I would say.
I also choose C because I think that it is more preferable to go out with your colleagues, friends, because your food is not tasty enough right now, and it is the best choice for me.
Okay, and you will be the final one.
Okay, thank you. I also prepared C, but I have some questions about this case. First of all, I need to combine B and C. I really want to know why they came at not at 7, but at 9. And also, I can't understand, if you invite people at 7, why you didn't take this food from your food maker and so on? How did you burn it? I just can't understand. It could be cooled, it could be cold, but how did you burn it?
The answer for the first part. This is so-called unstructured case, where you can guess this or that. And so we can assume that the people had some reason to be late, that the people didn't have any reason to be late. And it's up to you to think in this or that way. Why you didn't ask? Why the writers didn't write it down? And the idea that, in fact, the owner of the house first had to find out why the people were late before making decision was sort of, it seems to me, first described by the Chinese students over there. And you're right, but things happen. Everything can happen in the world, sometimes a very paradox type of things. And so it is like that. And you placed, I'm not a very good cook. I placed the meat into the stove and I spoiled it. What to do? And now summing up, all three answers can be justified by certain arguments. It is considered that number 3 is slightly preferable. Why? First of all, you invited the people home. And I remember the first speaker who told us that home is special. That's my private world. And as an example, say, I have several partners with whom we're running international programs for decades. And we visited numerous Russian and European restaurants while meeting. But I've never been to their place, they've never been to my place. That means that they were friendly, we're still friendly official. My private territory, the zone of my privacy, especially in half-eastern and eastern country, is very, very meaningful. You permit the people into your inside world. It's a gesture of friendship. And if immediately I shall tell the people, let's go to the restaurant, it won't be quite right. Second observation, are there some boys and girls who consider themselves to be expert about meat preparation? Who knows how to prepare grills? Not a single one. You are. That is, I shall ask you a question. If you burnt the meat, then you cut the upper part and put some greenery, will it be tasty? No. Because once it was burnt, exactly, it would have a burnt taste and smell. And then you're establishing relations. It's one of your first meetings, and first impression can be the only one. Only once we meet for the first time. And if you took this meat that was spoiled, then cut, then covered by some green grass, some time would pass, you'll forget about the burnt meat. But some feeling of slight dissatisfaction, some taste of something that was wrong, subconsciously would be with you. If you'd like to be perfect, you have to be perfect everywhere. Once again, there can be other arguments. And now the point connected with your residence and with your home. Please pay attention to C. You offer refreshments, suggesting that you all go out to your favorite restaurant. But first you offer refreshments. And then it depends very much on your nationality and on your cultural food traditions. Russian refreshments, like French salad, which they call French, or we call French, and they call Russian salad. It's a very rich food. And if it is accompanied by some liquor refreshment, and do you know the most popular Russian liquor refreshment? Exactly, colorless tea, 40 degrees of alcohol. So after this salad and after this refreshment, in fact, the people won't need any meat in the majority of cases and any restaurant. However, you invite them to go to the restaurant, and again, if you were at the Mediterranean countries, this is home-type restaurants. Normally, the people live at the second floor, and the first floor, they have some small home-type restaurants. So you go there. They spend some time at your place, so they are insiders. They saw how your family live. They stayed there, they got refreshments, and you told, I have burned this meat. I'm guilty. You see, things happen. And you take them to the restaurant. And it is considered that from the point of view of relations, it is a little bit more preferable way of behavior. Now I want to tell you several small summing ups and then to answer some of your questions. When we are communicating, back, why again? Here it works. When we're communicating, one of the major problems is connected with the language in which we are communicating. My experience, when I didn't have so many responsibilities at our academy, I used to be a consultant. 90% of cross-cultural conflicts are not connected with the values, with our perception of what is right or wrong. They're connected with miscommunication. And the top person, if you do not know the language, is the interpreter. At any negotiations, if the interpreter is bad, for sure there would be misunderstandings and conflicts. Please mind, if you're speaking foreign language via interpreter, Never speak long. I shall ask the people to place that on the website. It's not a secret. Never speak long. Be clear and diplomatic. No insults, no criticism when you're establishing relations. Second thing, please do not use difficult and rare words. I won't be telling stories when I was translating, when I was practically professional translator, when the people were using technical terms, which I didn't know, and they didn't tell me that they would need them, and the translation was fantastic, I can assure you. Next, don't use poetry or proverbs to translate poetry. You need decades of hard work. It's impossible even to retell the poetry, sometimes very, very difficult. Don't joke, because jokes in different parts of the world are very difficult. And sometimes what is funny in Nigeria may sound pretty insulting in some other African or Asian country, and vice versa. Next thing, oh, what's it? Why it is? Don't joke, especially on sex, on religion, and on culture. Don't kiss or touch your partners during the initial negotiations. It's a very tricky thing. Touching culture is a very special culture to be learned. In other cases, there can be lots of big conflicts. And I know that sort of couple of years ago, Richard Gere from the United States kissed famous Indian singer, and she was married. And it's an insult to be kissed in the public, and there was a very, very big scandal. In Europe, it's meaningless. Normally, the people kiss each other or touch cheeks. But again, when the Russians do that, they do that 3 times. Why? Because of Trinity. In Europe, they make that 2 times, and and every time when I can see European and Russian who are doing that, it sounds funny. It sounds funny. Do not discuss religion. Ask questions and listen for the answers. And молодой человек, поможете сейчас с фильмом? And I want to make your apologies. I want to show you a very small, for 3 minutes, video film. It's a little bit rude, but from my point of view, it is very much. It's with humor, but it is coming to the point. Next thing, we're communicating. Please learn the foreign languages. Lots of problems are connected with misinterpretation, miscommunication. Use your opportunities to talk to your friends, to develop your language. In this world, it is principally important. Поможете мне поставить фильмик, там маленький фильм по поводу поездки на Мальту? Посмотрите. And after that questions. Да. Сможете? Грузится? А что же он? Там нету, его нет. Нет. I'm sorry, that is a technical problem. Когда включится, включается. Not to keep the pause. While they are preparing film about the necessity to learn foreign languages properly, your questions. Yeah.
Thank you. My name is Ivan Asachikov, team number 2. I have a question about cross cultures and so on. For example, you are German, you came to Mediterranean country, and you know they are late maybe for an hour and so on. And you came, maybe you have a meeting at 7, and you came to 8 because you know they are late. But they know you are German, and they came to 7 because they know that you are not late. And what's happened? How to, I don't know, try to resolve this problem? Because I think that culture is trying to adapt to another cultures, and sometimes when both sides trying to adapt, that could be they can find some problems.
Okay. First of all, general approach. When representatives of two countries meet each other, both sides. No, it's. Изображение будет? Ага, okay. When the representatives of two cultures meet each other, both cultures move forward to each other. And so on both sides we are trying to be adaptive, and from this point, film about the necessity to learn foreign languages to avoid misinterpretation and misunderstanding. Включаете? С Богом.
Italian man who went to mountain. One day I'm going to the Malta to big hotel. In the morning I go down, I go eat the breakfast. I tell the waitress I want 2 pieces of toast. She brings me only 1 piece. I tell her I want 2 pieces. She said go to the toilet. I say you don't understand, I want to go piss on my plate. She say you better no piss on the plate, you son of a bitch. I don't even know the lady, and she calling me a son of a bitch. Later, I go to eat at a bigger restaurant. The waitress brings me a spoon and a knife, but no fork. I tell her I want the fork. She telling me everyone want a fork. I tell her you don't understand, I want a fork on the table. She say you better not fork on the table, you son of a bitch. So I go back to my room in a hotel, and there is no sheets on the bed. Call the manager and tell him I want a sheet. He telling me to go to the toilet. I say, you don't understand, I want to shit on my bed. He said, you better not shit on my bed, you son of a bitch. I go to the checkout and the man at the desk said, peace on you. I said, peace on you too, you son of a bitch. I'm going back to Italy.
Спасибо. Sorry, serious message. Please learn the language. And now, and now answering the question. Next thing, when you're coming to the other country, normally, if Italian comes to Russia, he tries to follow the Russian rules. If the Russians come to Italy, they try to follow Italian rules. So when you are coming to the country, try to behave in Rome, do as the Romans do, absolutely. And in case you stepped forward and they stepped forward, and finally you came later and they were ready earlier, there is the only way to settle peacefully practically any type of conflict. First of all, you say, I am responsible. First of all, try not to be in any way aggressive. As soon as I say, I'm sorry, sir, it's my fault, immediately half of your irritation and frustration normally disappear. It's my fault, cut my head. But please tell me how it happened. I heard that in your country. And then the dialogue comes, and then you start the development of what I call the feeling of the country. And if you remember when I was showing the slide about the translation, the final sentence was, ask questions where it is possible. When you are learning culture, say, I came to Nigeria. I do not understand something. I come to you and tell you, please explain why in Nigeria you behave like that. Will you explain me? Of course, and I can tell you more. All of us, all of you, were the humans, were very fond of explaining anything where we have top expertise. Who knows the culture of Nigeria better than the Nigerians? Who knows the culture of India better than Indians? The culture of Israel better than Israelis? The culture of China better than Chinese? Ask questions while answering. The people would establish relations with you. You develop cross-cultural feeling. You sort of settle the major part of the conflict in the dialogue. You learn and you make potential friends. In the other country, try to be very, very tolerant. Если можно, еще раз мои слайды вернитесь и прокрутите мне их до самого последнего слайда, до предпоследнего. Спасибо. More questions? Yes, please.
So from one of the slides you showed, you said we shouldn't discuss religion and then and some other things, but I'm really concerned about the religion aspect, because in a country like Nigeria, religion is very important. So if you avoid these sensitive topics, I think it's most likely you will not really understand the other. So I'm trying to avoid trouble by not discussing it, but I think it may create more trouble. So I don't know what's your view about that. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Very, very good comment. The answer would be the following one. There are exceptions from any rules. And if this question is important for you, and if you consider that the people with whom you'd like to discuss, they have proper expertise, and I shall add extra, and that they're also believers, and so that they partially share your values, then you start discussing this topic. Religion, it's about your belief. It's in your heart. And what is in your heart sometimes is very difficult to discuss. I shall use example. It's a little bit apart, but I hope it would help you to understand me. When you do not love a girl, it's so easy to tell her 10 sentences about love. But when you have love in your heart, to say, I love you, is so difficult. Your voice is trembling. You are thinking about, etc. When you are really religious and you believe, it's sometimes difficult to discuss that, unless other people are also the believers. And why I mentioned you'd rather not. I'm sorry, one more example. You'd rather not discuss football in Latin America. It's also taboos. Because the people, lots of people who are the real fans. Where are the people from Latin America? I remember that there was, I mentioned that there is a taboo in cross-cultural management. It says, you'd rather not discuss football with your Latin American partners. Football. No. Yeah. Will you tell a couple words? Are you satisfied? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Will you tell a few words why you cannot discuss football in Latin America?
People get like really enthusiastic about football. So if you're like from one team and I'm from like the opposite team, I mean, we're basically like, I don't know, I don't like you or you don't like me. So you can't discuss anything, and you are not going to discuss anything about managing or business. You're just going to keep talking about football, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you very, very much. So there are some fields which can bring to disputes and spoil relations. So unless you know the people very well, you'd rather, no, I'm sorry, А как это назад повернуть? Ага. Aha, here it is. And there are 3 golden rules of cross-cultural management which normally help you to avoid the majority of conflicts. Once again, there are only here 4 or 3.5 rules of cross-cultural management which help you to avoid conflicts. They are pretty simple and obvious. The first one, judge not, that you be not judged. That's from the Bible, and that exists in many religions. Just try to understand the other people. All the cultures, they are nice in their way. Try to understand them. Never go with the Christian church to the Muslim gospel. That's more or less about the same. Cross-cultural management cannot be taught. Cross-cultural management can be only learned by observation and experience. This is from what we started with you when I was showing you those window picture. When we were trying to calculate the quantity of letters, please learn to listen and to hear, to watch and to see. Learn your colleagues and they would become your friends and they will be learning you. That would establish your trust. And the final one, and that is the most important rule, when you're communicating with your partners, whether it happens because of you or because of them, be patient and tolerant. This is the major golden rule. I like your audience very much. So only for you, plus to the golden rule, I also tell you a diamond rule. Golden only for you. Golden rule says, be patient and tolerant. Diamond rule says, be very patient and very tolerant. And thank you very much. No, don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry. Only for you, I just want to say that you are such a lovely group that only for you, I shall also tell you in a deep secret, only please do not wreck it, super diamond, 25 karat diamond rule, it would sound in the other culture to avoid conflict, be very, very, and very patient and very, very, and very tolerant. Thank you very much.